Hello, my MGTOW brothers. I hope everybody is doing well today. I'm coming to you live from sunny, beautifully warm southern Texas, right here on the Mexican border, uh, and home of my favorite tacos in the whole world. And by God, I'm going to have to go on a fast again tomorrow because I cannot resist them damn tacos. They're so good. Al Pastor. Oh, yeah. You know it. Today I've got with me Tim Elgato, and I'd like to invite any other monk who wants to come and comment on this stream to join the panel at any time. If you're not a monk, feel free to, express yourself in the chat. And I'm not driving right now, so we can, I can actually read the chat for once. So today's topic is living a virtuous life and the benefits that being monk has. And I wrote down a list of the stuff that I enjoy about being a monk. So we'll start it off. And if anybody wants to, you have to be a monk for me to let you on today. And here we go. So the link is right there if you want to click the link. And if any of you brothers, if this goes long, we'll put the link in again. So my first thing that I like from living a virtuous life and being a monk is equanimity. And that means having a calm and composed disposition. For me, most of the time, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I get pissed off. But I like the way that I can go through life and I see people that are getting all spun up over nothing. And it saves so much energy not getting emotional about it. You're living your stoic values, where you're attacking every problem rationally and you're not letting things that you have no control over affect you in an emotional way. What are your thoughts on that there, Tim?
I 100% agree with you, Brandon. Stoicism is a big part of monkdom, and
Yes, it is.
it's just kind of hilarious that I get sometimes in some arguments with people on the internet or in real life, and they're literally going, "Oh, look, you're triggered. We can see that you're pissed off about everything, and you're a mean person, or you're this, that, and the other." All the shaming language. And to be
Oh,
honest,
yeah.
man, I kind of laugh at them on the inside. I really don't care what they think. I'm I'm kind of peaceful like that. It's like some people think I have beef with them on the internet. I don't have beef. We might have a disagreement, but I don't take it personal.
Yeah. And I see people on the highway getting road rage. And it just makes me, whenever they'd like drive by and honk their horns, or stuff like that, or flip me off, or try and brake check me. Only the brake checking actually affects me because I have to react to it. Uh, but I don't get like super pissed. I don't try and run them over with my 80,000 pound truck. I could easily, but I don't do that.
I mean, I
Uh,
understand where you're coming from. I ride a lot of motorcycles, and the dumb shit I see people do, who are like on their phones behind the wheel, cutting me off and
oh
stuff.
God,
And the
yeah,
problem is, like, you have the big rig. Yeah, I only have two wheels and I'm my own airbag, basically. So I need to
oh
be
yeah,
super alert when I'm driving. But I see so many people getting pissed off just because they're faster than them on a motorcycle.
yeah, yeah. It's just not worth your effort. It's energy you could spend on better, pursuits. Why initiate part of your fight or flight response? You don't need to get
Brandon, real
worried
quick,
about
man.
anything like that.
We got some heavy hitters in the chat, brother.
Oh, great. Hey, Frost. Hey, D-Man. D-Man is my very first sub I always love it when I see D-Man because it takes me back. He was my very first. It was great to have him here. Who else do we got? We got AKS
I saw
with
a
You're a
video.
Monk. Yeah, Iridium Kush, Mouth Agape Ape. This guy with a cat name. All right, so welcome to everyone. AKS and Chrome Dome Omega.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got some good people in the chat, man.
Hang on a second. I'll be just a second. I have to blow my nose. It's one of the bad parts about coming down to the desert. I get snotty.
Cool. So how your brothers doing? Just put it in the chat. I can see the chat.
All right. Well, and the second thing, and I never, as a young man, I never thought that I'd call this a benefit of a virtuous life, is I get to work diligently. I don't have anybody saying, "Oh, you need to come home and watch the kids, or do this, or do that, or anything like your time." If you feel like you want to do a good job and really dedicate yourself to the job, and just as Musashi said in the Book of Five Rings, if you're a farmer, be the best farmer you can be. If you're a swordsman, be the best swordsman you can be. You can devote yourself to the task at hand without any type of external distractions. And that is such a cool thing to do. That's one of the reasons I got out of the office.
Yeah, I
I
feel
was
you.
tired of the bullshit and everybody wanting to pull you in 10 different directions at once. Fuck that.
I feel you on that one, man. I mean, I own my own business, so I can do whatever the hell I want basically all day, and
Yeah.
I have basically no one waiting at home. So if I take like 6 hours, 7 hours to rebuild an engine, and I want to finish the job, I can do so. I mean, I always have my pets and my dogs with me. That's the biggest upside for owning your own business. It's usually just sleeping over there, just in the corner or watching what I'm doing. So I love that,
Yeah.
man. And usually, if I'm really being an asshole, I turn off the phone as well, just so that
Yeah.
I can devote my time to whatever the hell I want to do.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing. And I think the quality of your work improves as well. Men are meant to be soul focused, all this multitasking and bullshit. It really, cuts down on the quality and increases the amount of time it takes to do things.
To be honest, I can't even multitask. I can just focus on one part and one job really good, and when that job is done, then I move on to the next one. I don't like to multitask. I forget things when I multitask, and usually that's
Yeah.
expensive when I forget things.
Yeah. If I forget things, I could wind up in, Toledo or something. So that would be bad. All right.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest one for me on this list is internal contentment. Because I'm not seeking validations from an external source, I am, like we were talking about with working diligently, I'm my own boss. I'm also my own judge, jury, and executioner. And if I'm doing what I think I should be doing in a good way, I can, I'm content. I don't want for more.
Yeah. For me, the whole thing is true validation comes from within and not from an external source. And that's the
Yeah.
most important part. And if you can find that, if you're a monk or if you're not a monk, even as a normal person or someone who is not into the whole celibate thing, I would say just focus on validating yourself. Look at those small things so you do in the day-to-day life and get validation from that. You don't need an external validation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the reasons that I don't include PUAs in the manosphere, as they're not legitimate. Those guys are all about external validation. And if you're going to be red pill, you should strive towards, not, even if you're still chasing pussy, you're not doing it because you need the approval of a woman. You're doing it because your dick says fuck her,
Yeah, I agree with that. You should basically have all your stuff in order, and then if you want to chase some 304, then yeah, go for it. But it shouldn't be like, oh, she rejected me, now I'm gonna cry in a corner or something.
Yeah. Another thing I like, we're coming, to the monkish, really super monkish part of it is chastity. I'm finding that since I'm not putting the effort into chasing pussy, I have so much more time and I've got so much more resources. I'm not squandering my mental energy, my emotional energy, or my the fruits of my physical labor on someone who does not appreciate what I bring to the table. Someone who will betray me, someone who will, use me for all of the above, as a emotional tampon, a source of validation, and as a walking ATM. I don't have to worry about any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
And that is so liberating.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's kind of funny because you see a lot of them girls. They're like not traditional at all, and they're like, yeah, I want a traditional man, and I want this, and this, and men need to bend themselves in like 18 different ways, and he needs to be 6'4", and all these things that I need to be. I mean, I don't even bother with that. That's none of my problem. I live for myself, and I live to enrich my life, like the workouts I do and the days I spend in the gym and the money I make. It's all for me. I don't have someone holding up their hand and going like, oh, I need this right now. No, I can decide what I do with my time, and I can decide what I do with my money.
Yep. And Ape says, I enjoy the freedom of getting on the motorcycle and ride it for 2 weeks halfway across the country and go where he wants to. That's great, Ape. Great, Ape.
Yeah, driving around motorcycles and stuff. It's an amazing feeling, man. It's pure freedom. You don't have anything to do with the rest of traffic. If someone's slow, you can just pass them. It's you need to have done that at least once in your life.
Yeah. And those of you who are monk, you this isn't just a talk between Tim and me. You're more than welcome to join the panel. It's a free speech zone. You don't have to worry about what you say. You can come on here and just, speak your mind. So, anyways, where were we? You guys might have noticed my rather impressive and quite expensive tool shed roof. Uh, Diet control. I don't have to ask anybody what they want to eat. I can eat what I want. Right now, I'm on a diet, even though I'm not very good at it yet. And I'm constantly having to reset my ketosis. Uh, I don't have to, I'm not doing this diet for anybody else. I'm doing the diet because it's good for me, because I want to be thinner than I am right now.
You want to be as
One
healthy as possible, right?
Exactly. I want to be as healthy as possible. My brother had a heart attack this spring or this winter, and that was kind of a wake up call for me. Uh, so That's kind of a he and I share the same genetics, and he's about the same size I am. And if I don't do something now, I could be the next one to have the heart attack. So,
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, man, that you're looking after your health, and a lot of people don't do that. I actually think every man should hit the gym. You don't need to go super hard and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, gotta say, Arnold Schwarzenegger is definitely on gear, but that's a different story. But you
yeah,
understand what I mean. You should at least do something about your workout and something about your diet, and try to not eat and consume trash, basically.
yeah. Let me put the link in here once again.
Frost got a solid
Copy.
comment here. Download my fitness pal and count your calories. That's a solid comment.
Yeah. Okay, Frost,
I
I'll
do,
do that.
yeah, I do it on a piece of paper because my fitness pal wants my full information over here, and I'm not giving that to them. So I just use a pen and a piece of paper. It worked great for years.
JR says just do drugs.
Drugs will definitely keep you skinny,
Yeah.
but then again,
Uh,
not that healthy.
all right. And another benefit that I get from living a virtuous monk life is a simple way of life. I have reduced my possessions down to what I can carry. And I'm very proud of that. I, I own some property in Kansas, so I can't carry that. Uh, and I have a homestead out there that is it's about as off grid as you can get. It has no power except for an emergency generator and a very, very basic solar system. Um, and one of the reasons I'm out here on the road is to outfit that homestead. So that homestead, I've had some conversations with some brothers who want to sort of set up a more communal living. Well, it's not really a communal living, but live in the same community. And I'm seriously considering joining them. So if anybody wants to know more about that, I'll talk to you in a different stream. But simplifying my way of life, you know,
Yeah, I get you, man.
is is fantastic.
I
I
think
don't have to, I don't have to collect shit to fill an empty hole that it's not there anymore. I don't have an empty hole in my life. I'm more fulfilled than I ever have been, and I have nothing that I don't need.
I
You
think
have to go ahead.
Brendan, I think the word you're looking for is minimalistic lifestyle.
Oh yeah, yeah. Minimalistic. Um, let's see. Did I put that down twice? No, I didn't. Um,
I definitely
and
do
and
that.
that's part of stoicism as well. Um, I have comfort. I have, I got myself. They give you a regular mattress for your truck. I threw that thing out, or I gave it back to him actually, and bought myself a memory foam mattress. It's kind of pricey, but I sleep very well at night.
Like comfort is worth something. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is. It really is.
I'm sitting on an expensive gaming chair right now, but then again, if I want to sit down, I want to sit properly, man. I don't want to have back pain when I'm sitting and doing administrative work. I mean, when I buy something, I'll always think, do I really need this? And at least 3 uses for the product I'm going to buy. If I
Yep.
don't, if I can't think of 3 uses or I don't really need this, I don't buy it. I try to live as minimalistic as possible. And if I
Yep.
can, I try to get stuff for free. Like my generator, I got it for free. The guy who I got it from, he blew it up. He plays, he was like, "You want to have a generator?" Hell yeah, I want to have a generator. Like most of my tools I work with on a day-to-day basis, I got them for free or from garage sales or other cheap places, and just basically made a nice collection that way. Even got whole cars for free, man. People who crash a car or people blow up an engine, they're like, "You want to have a car? Yeah, fine, man. Just place it over here. I'll repair it."
Yep. Because let's face it, we're not women. We don't need to collect. What the good, of having, 99% of the shit that we're encouraged to buy in our lives. And also, by getting rid of your stuff and not replacing it, the stuff you don't need, that you just wanted, you are no longer supporting the system, the socioeconomic system that has your, the fruits of your labor as the main target of their oppression. Why feed the pig? Seriously, why feed the pig? Consumerism is a modern concept. People didn't used to need all this shit, and having all this stuff has made our lives more empty rather than filling it. And I'm really happy to have gotten rid of that crap. Why the fuck do I need paper books when I can have every book ever printed on my phone? Touch of a button. Maybe I'll pay a few bucks in cash for it off my debit card. I have no debt,
That's an important one.
and you know, I'm
Yeah,
just
that's an
living
important
life
one.
and stacking cash.
You should try to get as debt free as soon as possible. That's the most important one. You don't want to be taking out massive loans or have a fucking credit card stacking up shit you don't need. Just save up for stuff if you really want it, and when you save up for stuff, then yeah, you just buy it whenever you want it. And if you saved up, I sometimes have this. I save up for a product, and once I get the money, I'm like, nah, I don't need it, and I won't buy it. I'll just use the money to buy something else I need. I mean, also I don't buy brand bullshit. Sometimes you see like sweaters with a popular brand on there. They're like shitty quality. I'll get my fucking hoodie from somewhere else then, but it's better quality, but it doesn't have the brand name on there. You can always save money that way.
Yep. And Chrome Dome Omega has a great point. Don't buy crap you can't fix yourself. If you don't, if
That's
you
an
don't know how to
important one.
repair it, don't get it.
That's
Because
an
if the
important
shit
one.
if the shit hits the fan, ain't nobody gonna fix it for you. And if you don't know how to do it, but it's not too, you know, complex, learn how to do it. There's somebody in the community who knows how to do that stuff.
That's what
That's
I do
one.
basically. When I don't
You
know how
know,
to do it, I'll look it up, or I'll take it, or get another one, and then I'll take it apart, look what's on the inside, how it works, lay it all out. Then I usually figure out how to make stuff. Or I'm also pretty good with like how to get around stuff. When computer says no, I'll basically say you can go fuck yourself. I'll just work around the computer, trick the computers.
you know, and I don't know how to fix the computers, so I violate that principle there.
Well,
But
I mean the computers in cars or in bikes, but usually with the emission systems and shit.
okay. And another thing that I really enjoy doing is selfless service. I try and do one act of kindness to a complete stranger every day. And I find that very fulfilling. Truck stops, I think the only place that you'll find the worst dregs of society than a truck stop is like a bus station. Uh, and there's always somebody there who is, I try and find somebody who is like a man
Of course.
And usually they're quiet or they're sitting there not bothering anybody, but they've got their dog or something as a companion with them. And I get points every time I fill up. And the company on the card that I carry, um, and that at the chain of gas stations that I go to, that allows me to get any of the roller, the food, or a drink for free, basically. And I use those points, which my company gives me because they pay for the gasoline. Um, I use those points to give homeless guys food and maybe a hot cup of chocolate or a hot coffee or something on at night or in the morning whenever I'm stopping. And it just I ask them, "Are you hungry, brother?" Ah, crap! I just had a job come in. Let's see what it is.
Yeah, I heard a WhatsApp comment.
Okay.
Anyhow, I'll give my take on that. Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle though of that. I sometimes I'm trying to help out, but most good people, yeah, they're not like don't get me wrong on this, but they're not deserving or they're entitled to stuff. I mean, I've had guys just some random guy come up to me and like, hey, can you buy me food? And I'm like, why would I buy you food? I mean, I don't know you. And this guy was like, I wasn't trusting it. We're kind of a sketchy dude. I waited like for 10 or 20 minutes in my car, and then I just saw the guy walk in himself and buy the food himself. I mean, you're panhandling out there while you have the money. That's not cool. I
Yeah,
mean, when I see
I don't
someone
hand
in
out money.
no, but when I see someone in real trouble, like last time I saw a guy who actually broke the wheel of his car on the side of the road in the middle of the night. It was like 4 in the morning. Yeah, cool, man. I'll help you out. No worries. I'm trying to be really selective on who I help out because I've been burned in the past way too many times. They say they want help, but they actually want other stuff. They want your money, they want your car, they want your mobile phone. I mean, it's a shit show out there.
Oh, it is. It is. And you have to be selective who you're helping. You don't want to put yourself in danger. Like, I completely agree with that. Um, and you're not doing it for yourself, but you don't need to be so selfless that you give them your life as well as the fucking sandwich.
I mean, I'm cool to help out, but there are some people like I see people walk around with like Rolex watches and stuff, asking for money. I mean, you have like 6,000 euros on your wrist. Why you need my money?
Yeah, and I kind of anybody who has a cell phone also I find if they can afford a cell phone and they can afford the cell plan.
I got a funny story
Sorry.
on this one. I got a funny story on this one. We had one guy who was always begging at the local grocery store. He came from somewhere else. We was always wondering, like, how did he get here to basically beg for money? And he told us, like, yeah, I walk here every day. It's like 30 kilometers. And we're like, hell no, he's not walking. Anyhow, one of my
Not
mates and me, we waited at the end of when he was leaving, when the shop was closing, and we saw him walk like 4 or 5 blocks and then get in into a Mercedes. So basically, the money he begs there, he uses that to drive his car around. This guy is not walking. He had a quite an expensive Mercedes. So you need to
yeah.
be careful who you give money to.
Yeah, I never give money. Never give money. Always put, if they're hungry, you know, and humble. Look, a lot of these people are really humble. A lot of them are embarrassed about their position and the circumstances that they find themselves in. So,
Yeah, if someone's legit, I will help them out definitely. But the problem is a lot of people are LARPing. And for the people that don't know what that means, it means playing around.
Yeah. When. Sorry, I'm looking to see when I've got to pick up this damn load.
Oh, no worries, man. I was waiting on you to get the next point in. So.
Well, the next point sort of segues into that. It's humility.
Okay.
You know, I enjoy the benefits of having humility, because it means you don't have to get into a pissing contest with anybody. You know, we had a saying in the Navy: the first liar stands no choice, or stands no chance. You know, so if you say, I've got a guitar, and somebody will say, well, I've got a 1954 Fender Stratocaster. You know, you don't have to worry about anything like that anymore. You know, you either do or you don't. You either are or you're not. And you don't have to, buy, a pair of freaking designer. You don't have to buy designer clothes to make yourself stand out of the crowd or anything like that. I wear freaking overalls, not because they're a fashion statement, but because they're comfortable as fuck, and I can go out and work in them. And if I rip pockets or if I get grease on them, I don't care. They're fucking overalls.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it's I'm kind of I have a lot on my mind. I have to think of on a day-to-day basis. I don't have the fucking mental capacity to think of what the hell did I lie to that guy. So I just don't lie. I just speak the truth out. I see no. I mean, sometimes I say things people don't like, but hey, it beats you having to remember something. Oh yeah, I lied to that guy about having an expensive guitar. I mean, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my mental capacity. If he says, okay,
Yeah,
I have a guitar. Okay, cool, man. I don't. I mean, there's more important things to life.
exactly. And that goes right along with not seeking any type of external validation. You know, why the fuck would you lie? If unless you're trying to impress somebody, and if you're trying to impress somebody, you're seeking external validation.
You're spot on. It's for validation and fitting in with the group. I'm a Sigma. I don't give a shit what the group thinks of me.
Yeah,
And the other word is lone wolf for Sigma. Sigma is kind of a new word. But I'm
yep,
a true lone wolf. I couldn't give a fuck what the rest of the group thinks of me. I really don't. Even when and this is not just me talking online. I'm like this in public as well. I
I
had
believe
people
you.
come up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, you can't speak like that because what will people think about it?" I don't give a shit. It's about if
Exactly. That's so freeing, isn't it?
uh,
You just don't care. Fuck it. That's why
that's the
this is a
line.
free speech zone. You can say whatever the fuck you want because I don't care.
It has to align with my morals, ethics, and values. If it aligns with that, I'll say it no matter what. And if someone's bullshitting around, I'll tell you you're bullshitting around.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Uh, and being a monk allows you to surround yourself with good people. I've got that written down here as you have an authentic community. If people want to be here, they can come here. You know, we have an online community here in this chat, and some of the other brothers who have chats, they have online communities. And you don't have to be a member of great standing or anything to have a say. Everybody has the right to say anything they want in here, and some people just come to hang out and they find it relaxing, or they just come to, speak their mind because they've got nowhere else that people will listen to them. and they're here because they want to be here, and I'm here because I want, you know, to be part of this group that we have. And it's really nice to, you know, have an authentic community. Like Aesop said 3,000 years ago, a man's character is judged by the company that he keeps. So if you're keeping company with decent, upright people, then you will be judged accordingly. And you don't allow the negative people to stay in your life.
Again, I'm kind of in the middle on that one because, like I said, I'm a lone wolf or Sigma, or however you like to call it. I don't do guilty by association. I am my own individual person. I look at everyone as an individual person. And if someone from a group says something to me, that's on him, not him and the rest of that group. Might be that one of the guys standing with him thinks something else. I mean, I see everyone as an individual, but you're right about the group, man. I absolutely love it here, man. The people in here are amazing. I mean, you can talk about whatever. Well, I mean, one second you're talking about the simplest stuff, and the other second you're talking about some deep philosophy.
Or we're listening to Riggs run his fart machine.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I remember that.
All right. And if you've all been married, this next one will really be golden for you. You can have silence on demand. If you want it quiet, you don't want to talk to anybody, you're a monk. Nobody's going to fucking bother you.
I love peace and quiet, man. That's my time to recharge my battery. I mean, that's the best thing about the day. I mean, at least to me, pure hell is coming home and getting basically whined or complaints about all the stuff that I had to do go away. I don't want that. I even said that to the customer sometimes when they're like, I had one customer who insisted that I worked outside of my opening time to fix his car. I'm like, bro, you're not gonna tell me what to do. I'll have your car ready when you need it, but you're not gonna tell me when I'm gonna work on your car, and I'm sure as hell not gonna work on your car in the middle of night because that's better for you. And if you don't like it, here's the keys back. But peace and quiet is amazing, and the freedom to do whatever you want and when you want it. I mean, if I want to crack open a beer, not that I drink, but I can do that. If I want to grab my bike now, go on holiday, I can do that. I can do whatever I want, and that is amazing, man. That's pure freedom.
And that segues into my next one. You get to manage your own time. You've got nobody, you know, demanding things of you. You know, you've got work you've got to get done if you're a responsible person. But nobody's sitting there on your shoulder going, me, 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 and I want this, that, the other thing, me, 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 me. So,
And that's true.
yeah.
The other problem is you also have to pay for her to nag you, basically. So she wants to take you. You need to take on 3 jobs because she wants a bigger house. And she wants to keep up with the Joneses, and she wants that fancy car that came out this year. And don't forget, if you have children, they need to have the newest clothes, and they need to get to a school, and that's all on you. And nah, fuck that bullshit. Nah, that's not me.
No. No, it's a great thing. And because you can manage your own time, you can read, you can study, you can, you know, video game or watch a movie or whatever.
Or work out when you want. That's
or
also
work
important.
out, you know. But you know, I use my time to read when I have hours to fill. I like to read. And I think of every day as a school day. So
Learn
it's a
something new
beautiful,
every day.
yeah, try to.
And look something up you're interested in. Maybe grab a new language. I mean, so there's lots to do, man. Maybe get some survival skills. Do some prepping. Learn how to build a tool.
Yep.
Hell, take the car apart. See how it works. Do some fun stuff.
Yeah, whatever it is, every day, it doesn't matter what you learn. Just learn something. Because your brain's a muscle too. And if you don't exercise your brain, you'll get soft, stupid.
Also, try to keep your brain away from the propaganda, the TV, the mobile phones, and especially the Twitters and all the other social media crap.
Don't let yourself be conditioned by your mobile phone. Because they've done studies and they found that like the rings and the dings and the bells and the flashing lights condition us like Pavlov's dogs to respond to these social media things.
Yeah, I've seen it in
And
commercials as well. They use the ding sound from the phone, so you look at the TV. That's also,
yeah,
and I'm still, you still need to keep in mind, Operation Mockingbird never ended. I mean, they're still trying to pump all kinds of things they want you to do through the TV into your head, also through your
right.
mobile phone into your head. I mean, if you say stuff about single and dating a couple of times, just look at ads on your phone. You get ads for dating sites and stuff like that. I've tested it out with a brand new phone. It's because your phone records everything you say.
Yep. Well, we had to when I used to work for Beechcraft, and we had to install in what 2004 when that regulation came out. Yeah, we had to install soundproof, uh, signal proof boxes in the cockpits of every airplane. So, because it became a law that pilots could not have an operational cell phone on them when they were in the cockpit, because they had a couple of accidents where, as they were coming in for landing, they would come in, and right about the time when they needed the most concentration, their cell phone would start hooking up with the towers on the ground, and all these like notification sounds would start going off, and the pilots would be distracted. And they did studies on that, and they found out that people were distracted as a pilot coming in on landing, knowing full well that their lives and the lives of all their passengers depended on them. They were distracted between 30 and 45 seconds, nearly a minute, half a minute to a minute.
I I usually turn my phone off nowadays. The big parts of the
So,
day when I don't want to be bothered, I just turn the phone off. I think
you
that's
know,
unheard nowadays. Like in the middle of the day, just chuck the phone in a corner, turn it off. Don't bother with it. Go do something else. It's pure freedom, man. Also in the chat, real quick, Pablo's 1920. Yes, it's me, man. Go ahead,
yep.
Brendan.
I was just reading some of the things people were saying. So, imagine being so distracted, even if you knew that your life was in danger. That's how powerful that the conditioning is, and how good they do it. So
Yeah,
deal with
that's
part of the dangers around you. Can you think of anything else that you like about being a monk?
yeah, we already had like these are all amazing points that you have. Like I said, I like how I can devote my time to whatever I want. Also, I like how I can devote my time to my body, my mental health, to all the stuff that I find important in life. I mean, I've had relationships with females, multiple, and when you get into a relationship with a female, that's like you're not allowed to have any space. She dominates the space because everything needs to be chock full with her shit because they have like 90% more shit than men. And and that's not a hard statistic. That's just my guesstimate. And also that they will plan whatever the hell they want on your free time. So you get home on like a Friday night and they'll be like, oh yeah, my friends are coming over. And you need to interact with our friends. You need to look pretty and all that other stuff so that you can show you off like this is the kind of guy I can get and all the other stuff. And you're like, dude, I just got home. Can you not go somewhere else with your friends? I mean, I just want to relax. I don't want any hassle when I come home.
Yeah.
So to me, monk mode is the ultimate form of freedom. I have looked back and I've reflected on, but there's nothing there for me. I mean, if you look at the women nowadays, they all have a body count that's like at least in the 50s to 200s, and they all talk about I want 6'6" Chad, or we want 6 figures and all that kind of stuff. When the average man only makes 37,000, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's not worry about the women today, because that's not what we're here for.
No.
So, Frost is asking, what are your plans for your homestead? Are you just stacking your cash for a bit and then going back? Just curious. Well, yes, Frost. My plans for my homestead is to get a nice functioning workshop, as well as the homestead itself, and I'm going to be building ultralight airplanes there. I've been an ultralight pilot since I was in the Navy, and I built a couple of planes of other people's designs, and I have 2 designs that I would like to put into production and start selling. And I'm saving up the money to build that workshop right now, because my first wife, bless her soul, took my fucking tools in my divorce. Can you believe that? She took my fucking tools. Anyways.
Of course, the tools give you joy, so you can't have those. That's how they are, man. But when they separate from you, they want to hurt you as much as possible. The same reason why I got pictures of her and a new boyfriend. I mean, okay, why are you sending that? I mean, you're happy with him, right? Why do I need to see that? It's just to spite you, man. That's the whole thing. They're petty like that.
Yeah.
I thought of another thing. This is also kind of a nice thing for being a monk. And
yeah. So
now,
once I get the money to outfit my workshop, I'm going to stop driving and start building airplanes.
that's pretty cool.
I've got one design, which is going to be basically a flying pontoon boat.
Yeah.
And the other design is a sort of World War I looking biplane that you're going to. Oh, an ultralight has to be small and light, so it's not going to have an enclosed cockpit at all. But you'll ride it sort of like a motorcycle. I'll have to show you pictures one of these days.
Oh, I've seen the World War One planes before. They actually still have the whole World War One, World War Two exhibits over here with recreation, the wooden planes and the stuff they used in the First World War.
Right.
I've never messed with planes that much. I've worked on an engine though from a plane, a rotary engine, but I haven't messed with planes that much.
Yeah, I'd like to get a 3D printer that does metal, but I can't afford that.
That's expensive.
It's expensive as hell.
Yeah. Well, I like the old stuff, man. Like classic cars, classic planes.
Yeah. And I like the Art Deco styling as well.
I mean, I had a car from the 70s for a long time, so I like the classic styling. Nowadays, everything is shaped like an egg.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Hamster, he's not a Scot. But excuse me, Tim Elgato is from the Netherlands.
Apparently, I sound Scottish. I know where that comes from, and I had a Scottish friend while I was growing up. I basically got my English from him.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
it probably
that's where
does.
that comes from. My English teacher used to say, like, "Hey, you sound Scottish." I'm pretty sure it comes from that, man.
Yeah, because you really do sound Scottish. I thought you
Yeah,
were Scottish the first time I talked to you.
but I'm not. That's the funniest thing. It's kind of perfect, man, because my accent in Dutch is like completely different, but I can't talk Dutch because the problem is I'm from a really tiny district, and you can hear it on my voice, but while from some of the letters I pronounce different from the other districts. So that's why I like that my English sounds way different than how I talk in Dutch. But I've heard all kinds of things, man. I've heard guys say I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've heard guys say I sound like a Scottish man. Irish man, I've heard that one as well. So, got to the chopper, do it now.
Well, gentlemen, I would like to do this stream for a little longer, but I received a work order while we were sitting here, and I'm going to go stack some cash. I'll be starting up the world tour here in a bit after I find a trailer, and then we'll be on the road. We've got a load of something going to Illinois. I think I'm going to. Where is this place? I am going to Morris, Illinois. I think that's near Chicago. So maybe I'll get to see Polska Bob and MGTOW Cowboy.
Brandon?
We'll see. We'll see.
Brandon,
We'll see.
I have to say this, man. Big ups to this chat, man. Thanks for all the brothers for being here. And also thanks to you, Brandon, for having me on the show.
Oh, I want to thank you as well. You've been a wealth of information and the voice of reason. So.
Hey, my pleasure, man. I'm always down to help, man. If you want me on, just tell me so, man.
Well, I figured this would be within the time that you're awake, and the real heavy hitters like Hammerhand and those guys will be on later on today. So please, everybody, go and support your brothers whenever they stream. If I'm doing my world tour, I'll be on when they're done. You come back and say hi. So we have lots of people in here who could benefit from your help in the algorithm. So peace out. Remember, no marriage, no
Peace.
children, and no cohabitation. Love y'all. No homo.